Different kind of humor back in the 70s. Went over really big. 2 All-Americans on that 73 team. Guy who took those pictures is from Dallas. I knew him well years ago. Jim Lawhead. Remember the old famous pictures of the guys that lay out and dive? Yeah. Last time they were 5-0, 73. Jim Lawhead earned a lot of bling bling over his career. Taking pictures like that.
Bling bling?
I have no dignity. 2nd and 7. Here's Mock. I think it's timely that we now go back to Tim Brando in New York.
All right, Vern. Well, Fran Gantner is the assistant head coach at Penn State, and he calls his son's number here, Chris Gantner, on the fake field goal. It leads to Tony Hunt taking it in from 4 yards out to tie the game at 7. Joe Pa with a little twist today.
Todd, you and Matt Stein and I, several of us last night, watched that 1 hour special on Joe Paterno. So well done.
Really was. I mean, it was really fun to watch, and I've always had so much respect for him, and guys who just want the thing whenever he wants it to end on his terms and in the right way.
Pass out in the flat. This is caught by Justin Vincent, number 25. And he was tackled on 3rd down, so it's going to be a punting situation. Gus Scott, longtime very quiet player for this Florida Gator team.
And I'll tell you, the longer that LSU kind of bumbles and stumbles around here and lets this Florida team feel good about themselves, the harder it's going to get. I mean, you look at the guys in the Florida sideline right now. They're bouncing around, and the players are hopping up and down, and the longer this happens, the tougher it's going to be.
Here's Donnie Jones. Kewan Ratliff awaits it, and will call for the fair catch. Takes it at the 35-yard line. 43-yard punt for Donnie Jones. Florida leads by 3. NCIS Tuesday, 8 o'clock, 7 Central on CBS. First down after the punt of 43 yards. A 10-7 Florida lead. Chris Leak to throw on first down. Deep right side. They go at Ronnie Pruitt again, and he drags down Kelvin Kite.
They're attacking, Vern, and that is the thing that I was curious to see what they would do against this LSU defense. Last week against Ole Miss, they were conservative. They tried to just play it close to the vest with Chris Leak and win a ball control game that they lost in the end. Today, they have come out and they have attacked this aggressive LSU defense, and they've put them back on their heels. And the more this happens, the more confident Chris Leak gets in taking chances throwing the football.
Pass interference against the defense. The penalty is 15 yards from the previous spot. Automatic first down.
When you look at their play selection right now for Florida, 12 runs, and that was the 17th pass that they've tried. So that they are going right after this vaunted LSU defense, and I think that's the best way to attack them. If you try to be conservative and run, establish the run, and protect a young quarterback, LSU's defense would have been eating them up right now.
And that was a first down pass, which becomes significant when you consider what they did last week. They ran 23 out of 30 first downs in the loss at Ole Miss. That pass incomplete on first down right side. And time now for the Home Depot coach's decision. The change from Ingle Martin to Chris Leak.
Well, they started out the first 4 games. They rotated their quarterbacks. They actually played 3. You know, Gavin Dickey also played, but at a certain point they decided that Chris Leak gave them the best opportunity to win. Ingle Martin, a very athletic guy, not quite the thrower that Chris Leak is.
On second down, here comes the blitz. Marcus Spears is the first one there, and a perfect play. O.J. Small out of bounds inside the 35-yard line.
And Ed Zonbrecker, I think, is doing a marvelous job in the first half. With the exception of that one option call that may have been an audible, they have really mixed things up, and they have confused and mixed up this LSU defense. Florida's offense has dictated this football game so far in the first half. And every game that LSU has played prior to this, their defense has dictated the football game.
Well, they had Marcus Spears and their 6th defensive back, Jesse Daniels, coming on that last play. Small has now caught 5 for 41 yards. Here's Leak. Tries to find Carlos Perez, and no question they're picking on Ronnie Prude, number 1. And why not? Because Corey Webster is so good.
Well, he's got 3 interceptions and 10 in his career, and he's a very athletic guy, and so Prude's the guy that you go after. And I think that so far they've been good with that. But again, it's just the play calling and the mixing up and the moving Chris Leak that time out of the pocket. Good protection by the front guys, and Chris Leak is getting rid of the football.
2nd down, 10. Mike DeGore with the line calls again. Number 68. 4-man LSU rush. Leak darts right, pulls up, comes back to the left, shakes the tackle of Marquise Hill, goes deep and throws it over the head of O.J. Small. A flag over on the far side. Might be Marquise Hill with a face mask.
I think you're right. It's going to be a 5-yarder because he let go of it. But again, the one thing about Chris Leak, when he scrambles, and most times with a freshman quarterback, when they take off and leave the pocket.
Defense. The penalty is 5 yards from the previous spot.
Most time when a freshman quarterback takes off down the field or out of the pocket, he runs right away. He tries to be an athlete. Here's the face mask by Marquise Hill right there. Just kind of grazed across it. But Chris Leak never takes his eyes off of downfield. Now, Ben Troop was open, but he was running away from his quarterback because Leak was scrambling the other way. So he had some receivers open, but the scramble went the other direction.
That is the 6th penalty on Louisiana State. It's 2nd down and 5. 6:51 to go, first half of play. Wonderful display by this true freshman Chris Leak here in the first half. Here comes the blitz. Got him.
Let's hold the ball.
Yep.
Defense won. They haven't won much in this first half, but that time they won. And he was ready to throw the slant, and the slant wasn't there. Okay? LaRon Landry, number 30, is going to come unblocked. And Chris Leak did a good job of not trying to force the football. He's happy because that's the first sack that LSU has had.
There's a quick flip right side. On 3rd down, Carlos Perez is tackled by Ronnie Prude. It will be 4th down. And Matt Leach's career long is 47 yards. As a field goal kicker, this would be beyond that. Well, 50 yards. They're going to give Matt Leach the chance. Leach, the junior from Sarasota. 50 yards. This would be a career long.
Ron Zook's trying to call timeout. I think he wanted to change his mind and punt the football.
Well, guess what? He need not. And he'll say, that's what I wanted to do all along.
Yeah, that's one of those. Hang on, hang on, hang on. All right, great job. Good job. Look at Ron Zook. He wants to call timeout. He's having some second thoughts. And Leach said, I didn't see you, Coach. I was focusing between those uprights.
Ron Zook says, no, 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 no. Great kick. Matt Leach ignoring the timeout call of his coach Ron Zook, said, I got this one sighted in. And he knocks it home from 50 yards, a career long. 6 plays, 32 yards. And Matt Petrovich will kick off.
179 yards of offense already for Florida in this game against the #1 defense in the conference.
Here is Petrovich. Henderson, Skylar Green. This one will be returned by Devery Henderson from the 5-yard line. Out to the 28. And let's go down to Jill for this SEC moment presented by Sonic.
Well, Vern, in 1997, the LSU Tigers took on the #1 ranked Florida Gators in Baton Rouge. Herb Tyler got LSU on the scoreboard first with this 40-yard touchdown run. And then in the 3rd quarter, Cedric Donaldson returned an interception for a touchdown, putting the Tigers up 21-14. LSU would never lose the lead again as they went on to win it 28-21. It was the first time in 104 years that LSU had beaten the #1 team in the nation.
All right, Jill, thank you. On first down, here's the handoff to a dive, fumble.
Boy.
That was an early season problem for a dive.
Ray McDonald is going to get his hand on the football. He beats the center Wilkerson, and then with his left hand rips the ball out, but it comes right back to a dive. I want to go back to that sonic moment because you saw at the end of that little highlight. That was a goalpost game for the people here at LSU. This is not a goalpost game in the fans' minds anymore because they expected LSU to win this football game today. And right now, Florida has taken the game to them in a way that I don't think anybody here expected.
Here's Mark going deep left side. Michael Clayton, he was open as Ratliff had slipped, and the pass a little behind Michael Clayton.
Now, Jimbo Fisher wants to get Michael Clayton the ball. Now, he's been open a couple times, but they just have not been able to connect. Kewan Ratliff slipped, had a big cushion, and Matt Mock is not able to get him the football. They've thrown 3 times to him, but they've only completed 1 of them.
Back to 25 yards. Matt Mock 6 of 10 for 63 yards today.
Big third down here for LSU.
Yeah, latter moments, third quarter. And Matt Mock out of the spread. 3-man rush across the middle, almost intercepted. Dwayne Dixon.
Excellent play by Dixon. I mean, he read the quarterback the whole way. He broke perfectly on the football. That was really a good play by a good player. Number 34 is going to come from the bottom of your screen, and he read the crossing route and got there right when the football did. And Charlie Strong told us Daryl Dixon has been the MVP. He's played the best of anybody on their defense since the beginning of the season.
Charlie Strong is in his first year this time around as the defensive coordinator at Florida. Came from South Carolina a year ago. Here's Donnie Jones, 3 and out for LSU. And Ratliff backed way up. Yes, it was, but a little room for the counter punch. He gets out to the 28-yard line. Friday on CBS, whether it's a drug ring or a bank robbery, the FBI's undercover team will take on any identity to solve crimes from the inside. Emmy winner Joe Pantoliano is the handler. Don't miss an all-new episode Friday at 10, 9 Central on CBS. Dwayne Dixon missed all of last year with an injury. And as Todd said, Charlie Strong said he is playing really well. Billy Latsko in at fullback now. Set up Strong to the left side. And here's Deshaun Wynn for the 31. Well, we've got a 24-year-old junior for LSU and a 19-year-old freshman, Chris Leak. How have they done so far? 162 for Leak, 63 for Mock. 1 touchdown and 1 interception for Matt Mock, who on Monday took his dental school admissions test. Will graduate with a degree in medicine at the end of December. Here's Leak, play fake, goes right, got him. Just took a little too long. Nothing developing downfield.
Yeah, good coverage downfield. He held the ball a little bit too long, and Marcus Spears was able to get to him. Now, I think Florida has done a nice job of protecting Chris Lee. Here's Marcus Spears over here, and it's not going to happen right away, but he's going to eventually beat the block of Snell and get to the quarterback. But that was good coverage downfield that created the sack.
Marcus Spears grew up here in Baton Rouge. Best friend during his childhood was his teammate Michael Clayton. They agreed together to come here, and Nick Saban took over. 3rd and 13.
You know what? Deshaun Wynn just tried to call another timeout, and I don't know if he got it. Yes, he did. And again, now Chris Leak has so much on his mind. I mean, he is trying to read the defense, find out where the blitz is coming from, and he's not seeing the play clock. And Deshaun Wynn is watching the play clock. Here's Sean Wynn again, number 21. Now, they didn't get the timeout this time, and the play clock ran out on him. See, Chris Leak, I mean, again, with this defense, because they are moving in and jumping around and doing all this stuff, he is so locked in that he's kind of forgetting that other thing, the play clock.
3rd and 18. Chris Leak has been sacked twice, hurried 7 times, knocked down 4 times.
I like the look in his eyes. I mean, he doesn't look scared and he doesn't look intimidated by this LSU defense.
Blitz. Got him. Travis Daniels, 2 minutes and 35 seconds to go before the break. Tigers have 2 timeouts left.
I think 3rd and 18. Florida's thinking that they won't blitz, but they're going to come this time. That's Travis Daniels is going to come on a blitz. He comes inside. They don't pick him up. Deshaun Wynn picks the outside guy up, but that left a guy open, and Daniels there for the sack.
Here's Eric Wilbur. Line drive. Skylar Green will let it bounce. And it takes a Florida roll all the way down to the 40. I wonder, I think he could have gotten to it.
Well, I thought he might have, but it ended up being a good punt. It didn't look like a good punt when it left the foot because it looked like a kickoff. But when it hit the ground, it had that topspin on and it took off. So it ended up being an excellent punt for Florida.
53-yard punt, nothing on the return for the freshman Eric Wilbur. Average field position. Florida has started at its own 34, LSU its own 17.
You mentioned Wilbur. I think this is one area where Florida is greatly improved over last year, is their punting game. And Eric Wilbur is a freshman out of Winter Park, but they are coming into today 38.2 net punting compared to 31.5 last year when Engel Martin was their punter.
Play fake, Matt Mock. Nice pass, but a terrific defensive play. Kewan Ratliff. Tomorrow on the NFL Today, join Jim and the gang. 1:54 to go first half. LSU scoring first on the punt return. Florida the last 13 unanswered. Here's Mock under his center. Blitz. Mock screen pass. Joseph Adai. A tackle is missed. Adai is down at the 41-yard line.
Channing Crowder didn't get credit for the tackle, but he was the first guy there, and he slowed him up a little bit. And this guy is fun to watch now. He is a redshirt freshman, and he flies around. I mean, he is a fun guy to watch on this Florida defense. He originally was a member of the 2002 recruiting class, but he delayed his enrollment until January of 2003 because he was rehabbing from a knee injury from high school. And he has played outstanding football as a redshirt freshman, or as a true freshman, I should say, this year.
3rd and 9. Deep middle, incomplete. Channing Crowder had dropped in coverage, and he was back to knock the ball down. Intended for Michael Clayton. That is the